Good morning, everyone. Mike Martin's here with the Mike Martin's channel. Thanks for joining, liking, and subscribing, and being part of the channel. Guys, I got a story and a half for you guys, and again, it goes back to the same broken record as we've been talking about on this channel over and over. And I love when politics gets so blatantly fixed, or so blatantly selected, or so overwhelmingly not real. It's like almost, yeah. Let's take a look at what I'm talking about here. I'm really overwhelmed to tell you this today. Here it goes. So yesterday on the channel, on the community, last night actually a few hours ago, I posted for you guys, Justin Trudeau slightly favored over Pierre Poilievre for Prime Minister, says a new poll. Now, Pierre Poilievre, for people in the Commonwealth watching this, he's basically more of a conservative guy, more conservative, looking at the budgets, trying to balance the books, making sense of what's happening realistically in Canada. I really hope if he does get in or becomes Prime Minister, once they tackle the money laundering issue, start basically signing over properties back to Canada, because a lot of them were illegally obtained through shadow banking, all kinds of bizarre stuff. Stop the fentanyl trade. I could be here for hours. I'm not gonna. If they could, anyways, I'll get to what I'm saying. What he should be looking at, hopefully, to make a difference in this country. But are we even allowed to vote ourselves out of this mess we're in? We can't, and I'll show you why, and I'll prove it to you why. So people are commenting on this from a couple hours ago, and I call BS, bring it on. And there you go. More comments here. It is Canada. And people are laughing. Remember the electoral reform promises in 2016? Yes, I do. And the media wishes. Now, that's a really good one by Anne. Why does the media wish? Why? Now, why is this all over the media? So we're going to get to the article itself. Guys, don't forget. Now, for Pierre Poilievre, this is basically what Canadians... I'm not speaking for all Canadians, but if Canadian leaders are not addressing these key issues, they are wasting your time, period. So this is a very important video I made. 6 steps to fix or start to fix or mend the country Canada, or try to bring it back to its glory days of 1987. So that's the only way they could do it, is by actually fixing these issues that I address here, right? And they need to look at these issues that we're having here in Canada as issues like, what if I broke these laws? Like, of those 6 things that need to be fixed, if I broke any of those laws, I would be you wouldn't even know I existed. I'd be sitting in a prison cell. But because these laws are being broken through different levels of government and tyrannical government, and it's basically tyranny, right? So the government could break laws and print off money to pay its bills, where we at the bottom, especially in the private sector that fund the public sector, are getting shafted day in, day out. All right, so guys, if you haven't yet, don't forget to check out the last Mike in the Night 457. Oh, this one was really good. Unfortunately, a lot of people are asking why are we not playing Mike in the Night on YouTube, but unfortunately we can't speak on YouTube because it's very heavily government controlled, federalized, and everything. So there it is. CTV News. Justin Trudeau slightly favored over Pierre Poilievre for Prime Minister, says new poll. Justin Trudeau slightly favored over Pierre Poilievre for Prime Minister, says new poll. And Justin Trudeau, the Toronto Star, slightly favored over Pierre Poilievre for Prime Minister. Why? Because he's funding them! He's paying their way! A lot of this, like Global News, is begging the government for money or it's gonna close down! We are, in fact, actually supporting, or not supporting, the taxpayers, not the government, the taxpayers, me selling my toys here, paying my taxes every year, are funding the mainstream media to lie to our faces. He's funding them. So if he goes and Pierre has a head on his shoulders say, I'm not going to fund private sector media, go to hell. If you guys can't make it like I can't, or if I fall on my store, or I fall on hard times, they're going to have to, no one's going to come here and bail me out. So this is what's happening here. He's funding. So when you go on YouTube, it says RT is fully funded by government, by the Russian government. Well, they should put on YouTube, when you go to these mainstream media platforms and you see Canadian news, that at the bottom, it needs to be funded by Canadian taxpayers fully, because these guys won't survive. Now that Pierre is running, I know everybody is looking for him as a hope. They're looking for him as some sort of a change in the country. But you got to go back to that video I made, that 6 things, that if they're not talking about those 6 things, you're wasting your time. They're wasting our time, basically. They're not going to get anywhere ahead without tackling those 6 issues that I mentioned earlier. So there it is right there. So now, what do we call here? I already knew the Liberal government will call a snap election and win. When was this? Exactly 8-9 months before they called the snap election. And a lot of people, Liberals want weekend voting mail-in, right? When we talked about that, when I made this video on February 3rd, 2021, do you know how many people bashed me, trashed me, totaled me, ruined me in the comments, and then sending me hate mail and everything, saying, Mike, why the hell would they call a snap election in the middle of a pandemic? You're dumb. And they did. And the Liberals won. And 3 months ago, 304, or was it 407? I think it was 407 or 403,000. Look it up yourself. Uncounted ballots in Ontario from this last snap election. Uncounted. So you see where we're going here with this. Same with the Biden selection and all these other selections that are happening all over the world. So there it is right there, and we discussed that. And I'm showing this to you guys because it was something that was said here, and I already knew how the game was being played, right? And let's go back to 2019, the year of the protest, right? The whole of France, well, the whole world was protesting. That's why they had to pull the trigger on the you-know-what, right? But there it is right now, 2019, Yellow Vest movement, going strong in 2019. Why? Why were they going so strong? To take this guy. Macron is finished. Police might join Yellow Vest movement back before the you-know-what, before they pull the trigger on the you-know-what. I'm not Russell Brand, so I can't say it here. Or I'm not some, I don't know, media channel that's allowed to say this stuff on this platform. But there it is right there. And what were we talking about then? Look at that. Before the you-know-what. Police threatened to join protesters, and it was out of hand in France. You see where we're going with this, right? You understand how we're connecting the dots with what has happened and transpired before. So they are already hinting that, oh, Trudeau's a little bit better than Pierre. They're already going to let people know that. So then when later, if the election becomes fixed, they're going to say, well, we told you he was better. Don't get upset, you conservatives. So that's the thing. And if there's going to be a change in Canada, I have no confidence in any government. I don't care who get. I have confidence in myself in raising and taking care of my family. I couldn't care less. I'm trying to get by now because I can't ship anymore. Shipping is too expensive because the federal government and the protectionisms that's happened. It's protectionism, right? Our media is protectionized by the government. Our 2 airlines are protection. We need competition in Canada. And without that, we're shafted up here. We're sitting ducks, and we've been sitting ducks for decades now up here. We built the infrastructure, and now they don't want us in this infrastructure. They want us gone. They don't want the Europeans to build any more of this infrastructure. Just like that lady came into my store where I made a live stream for you guys about a week or a week and a half ago, where I said that this is 95% of Canada, the infrastructure, was built by European expansion. Europeans from all over Europe came and started building these Western countries to escape the tyranny in Europe. Lady came into my store and said, Mike, but the people that built this area that you're in are Dutch, Swiss, people from those countries, right? From Netherlands and stuff came here to build that. And I told her, ma'am, that is Europe. She's like, no, it's not. That's not Europe, right? So this is the type of, what we're living in right now. And that person works for the government, makes 6 figures a year working for the government. But if they were to open a business like a store and make it on their own, they wouldn't last a week. So that's the problem we're facing here, right? So this is the problem that Canada's in right now. We're so done. And are they going to allow, the question we need to ask, are they going to allow Pierre Poilievre to win? Are they going to allow him, even though he wins legitimately? And everybody votes for him, just like Macron. Nobody voted for Macron. They were pushing Macron out. They wanted Macron out. Guess what? A few months back, he got reelected. We made a video about that, and that video got taken down. I went through 14 suspensions on this platform through protectionisms. So picture YouTube as all of Canada. Canada's like YouTube. Protectionism, rules, this, that. You can't say this. You can't do that. You can't put this in your newspapers. You can't say this. You want funding from us? You need support. Picture all of Canada as YouTube, because that's what we are here. All protectionisms, all fake facades, and that's what it is. Anyways, guys, if you're living in Canada, please share this video. Get this out there. They're already hinting on where things are going to go because they need the funding. for the mainstream media. And I hope to God that there is a change in this country. Something happens, or the Americans come and free us. America gets their crap together down south and frees us up here, or something happens, because this whole being part under the monarchy and all this stuff, we need a change. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken.